If you can join me in the beginning chant, then we can do a quick interaction of thought. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya.
They have asked me to speak on a little bit on the significance of Bhagavan Sri Ramana's Aradhana. To speak of the significance of anything to do with Bhagavan Sri Ramana would be very presumptuous. Because what do I with my limited capacity begin to understand even the smallest of the fractions of anything to do with that Supreme Self, which is Bhagavan Sri Ramana. But in a limited way, if we look at it, we are talking today on Aradhana of Bhagavan, that is Bhagavan's, the physical body of Bhagavan on April 14th, 1950. That was the day he shrugged off his physical body, that Aradhana. And his assurance to the devotees as to where can I go? I am here. In this context, to talk 10 or 15 minutes maximum. Today, we can go till what, 6:30, 6:25? Okay. So today we have to talk on the Mahanirvana of Bhagavan and the fact that he has not gone anywhere, he is here. And we are talking about it on what day? On Akshaya Tritiya day. What is Akshaya? It means that which does not die, that which does not diminish, that which remains ever full. Because of modern marketing, we have connected Akshaya Tritiya with buying gold. Because everywhere there's an advertisement saying buy gold, buy gold. Even that is okay. In Bhagavan's scheme of things, nothing is excluded. Because one of the names of Bhagavan in Ashtotram is Swarna Hastakaya Namaha. He is Tanga Kai, he was called. Tanga Kai. So he is a gold, man of gold. On Akshaya Tritiya day, we are trying to understand the significance of the Aradhana. Many of you would have gone to Udupi Sri Krishna temple, right? In Udupi Sri Krishna temple today, they will offer worship to Akshaya Patram. What is Akshaya Patram? Draupadi, the Pandavas were given by sun god Surya Bhagavan during the time in their forest one vessel called Akshaya Patram. Very useful for a lady to have. Because how much ever food you take from it, it will remain full. Food will never become empty. Until she decides that no more today, enough of serving, and then she cleans it up and then puts it upside down, then that day there will be no more food. Otherwise there will be food full. Akshaya Patram. On Akshaya Tritiya day in Udupi, this vessel, Akshaya Patram vessel, is there in temple of Udupi, Krishna's temple. Like that, so however much you take out of it, it remains full or Purnam. Purna means what? Full, complete. Many of you in your school would have learned that slokam. Purnamadaha, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudichyate, Purnasya Purnamadaya, Purnameva avashishyate. Meaning, that is full, that is complete. This is also complete. If you take from the complete, some complete, whatever remains is still complete. Right? Purna is also another name of Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi in the Ashtotram. Purnaya Namaha. Rachitachala Tandavaya Namaha. Like that it goes, no? Purna. So Bhagavan is full. Out of that fullness came Bhagavan as the physical form that we are also fond of. The picture is here. The physical form goes, nothing is depleted, it remains full. Purna remains full, Purnam remains full. He remains. If you take Purna Ramana away from Purna Ramana, then nothing goes away. Purna Ramana remains Purna Ramana. That is the significance of the Aradhana today. Akshaya Tritiya also denotes the beginning of Satyuga. The four yugas are there, no? Satyuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga's beginning is Ugadi. Satyuga's beginning is Akshaya Tritiya, which is absolutely appropriate today that we are saying that where can I go? I am here. Because Satya means, Sat comes from two basic roots. One is truth, reality, other is existence, presence. So the presence is indicated that today we are celebrating this Aradhana celebrations here. See, A.R. Natarajan, who was the founder president of Ramana Maharshi Center for Learning, he used to get quite upset when anybody used to put an end date after Sri Ramana Maharshi's name, saying Ramana Maharshi bracket 1879 to 1950. If you put that 1950, he did not like. He would object. You'd say, how can you say? He didn't mind that 1879, that he wanted. That 1950 he didn't want. You say, how can you say that? He went and fought in Tiruchuri, in Sundara Mandiram house, where the board was there. The priest told me, in his birthplace, how can you indicate this, that he is no more? Because he is always there. You cannot say he is no more. So Bhagavan is eternal, he is eternal, he is there now. If he is not there now, why are we all here? We are all here because of him. A few minutes we will spend on that frame, that form of Bhagavan, especially towards the end of that physical form, and then we'll conclude today's introduction. Sometime in 1948, end of December, just after the Jayanti of Bhagavan, it was the 69th Jayanti of Bhagavan, around that time, it was noticed that there was a small growth in above his elbow on his left hand. He used to find it scratchy, he used to scratch it. Then in January, others also started noticing there is something there. And then they called the doctors, and the doctor said, it is a small growth, it should be removed. although he was not much in favor of it, he used to go with what people say. It was removed. In February 1949, that growth was removed. March 17th, 1949 was the Kumbhabhishekam in the mother's temple. All attention was on the Kumbhabhishekam. As soon as the Kumbhabhishekam was over, it was noticed that that growth had come again. That growth was there again. Now it was realized that this is a tumor. The doctor said, now we cannot do anything, we have to remove it again. So one more operation was performed on March 27th. Then, during the course of that operation, if I am not mistaken, during the course of that operation, there are 4 operations, one in February, March, then August, then November in that year. 4 times. And he didn't even want to have it once. But nobody cared. The management decided it should be done. Doctors decided. They used to come 20 doctors at a time with all the equipment in a train. They used to bring it. Set up a mini hospital and do it. The second time when they were doing it on March 27th, in fact during the course of the operation, like we have in Madras nowadays, that time in Tiruvannamalai, during the course of the operation there was power cut. So operation could not be continued halfway. See, these all things have happened. So, then third operation, August. This time they said we must ensure that there is power during the operation. So they talked to Mettur Dam, ensure no power is stopped somehow during this period, like that. Then the doctors told him after the operation, you have to take rest, you should not move, you should not strain yourself and all that. And they went away to Madras. As soon as they went, he got up and struggled and walked his way all the way to the new hall. He said, I have to give darshan. That I have to do. What doctor has to do, he has done. Then again November, like that it went on. But those with him say, although it was terrible to see how painful it was as big as a small cauliflower in the hand. It was being moved all the time. It was painful, he bore the pain, but he was always glowing with God, the divinity that he was. And until the last day, April 14th, 1950, he used to assist himself in the dressing of the wound. His right hand would help in bandaging the left hand, as if it was somebody else's hand, like a nurse working on some other patient. He would do that. That was his detachment from even the pain and the body. That was he. And on April 14th, the Aradhana day that we celebrate today, evening 8:30, 8 o'clock onwards in the night, they started chanting Veda Parayanam. Little later, 8:30, they started chanting from the southern side of the room, they started chanting Akshara Manamalai. When they started chanting Akshara Manamalai, he opened his eyes. And tears came from his eyes. Many people had prayed to him saying, Bhagavan, cure yourself. We need you, world needs you, you should not go, you must cure yourself. Including Surinagama and others. And had cried to him and wept with him and saying, what will we do when you go? And then he had said, where will I go? I am here. That is the topic of today. But seeing the final suffering was so bad, he couldn't open his eyes on April the 14th. He was lying there. Surinagama and others used to walk past him in a single file to have darshan. And she prayed that Bhagavan, out of compassion, you must at least open your eyes and see me. He opened his eyes and saw her. she saw the pain that he had, although the compassion was there. Then for the last prayer she made to him is, Bhagavan, we have been holding on to your body too long. You may let it go. So he let him close his eyes. The next we see him opening is when Aksharamana was being sung, he opened it. His eyes had tears. The last words that he spoke was to his attendant who was attending on him. The last words he told him was in English. He said, thank you. And then the tears from his eyes from Aksharamana, and then he stopped breathing. He did not go anywhere because there was a huge comet of light which was seen all over India, which went in the sky and merged in Arunachala, which was the Purnam which came as Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi, and with the fall of his body, it didn't go anywhere, it remains everywhere actually, and most profoundly so, it can be experienced as Arunachala. Thank you very much.